Hey, good afternoon. I'm Chuck Flaherty, Vice President of Sales for the NetSapiens platform here at Crescendo. Welcome back to our Partner in the Spotlight series. Today, we're going to do something a little bit differently. Over the first 7 months I've been here, we've seen a marked increase in the number of Metaswitch and BroadSoft platforms looking at NetSapiens as a possible solution. And so we're going to do things a little bit differently. Today, we've got the company that helps make that happen for us, make the migration happen from Metaswitch over to NetSapiens. The company is Matic, and our guy is Chris Wager. Chris, welcome. Glad you could be here this afternoon.
Thanks for having me, Chuck. Happy to be here.
Yeah, fantastic. Listen, before we dig in on the migrations and the story behind it, share with the audience, if you would, a little bit more about Matic so they know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Matic, we are an automation company. So we'll automate simple workflows or even complex workflows. So it's easier for you guys, whether it be billing, whether it be phone numbers, sourcing, et cetera, we can automate all those workflows. One of the main things, how this all started was migrations. And that's another automated workflow that we do. JJ, who's our product engineer, he used to have to do all these manual migrations years and years ago. And he thought to himself, well, there's got to be a better way. So he looked, and guess what, Chuck? There was no better way. So, thankfully we're here in America, and he thought, well, I'm going to build a better way. So that's what he did. He built a tool to help migrate clients from platform A to platform B simply and easily.
I love it. You and I have been in the business a long time. I'm approaching 40 years. And I think one of the reasons we got in the business and have stayed in the business is it's so dynamic. It's so changing. We're seeing a lot of things happening. I'm curious to get your observations as you look at communication platforms and what's out there today. There's a lot of dynamics. Chris, what are your observations? What are you seeing?
Communication platforms, the old way of doing things where you could just kind of grow your way to profitability, that's just becoming more difficult. We talk to clients on a weekly basis, and they feel like they're just getting squeezed everywhere they turn. And that's difficult. So when you think about just your average revenue per user is starting to decrease. It is when you think about just your regular profitability, that's starting to decrease. Your margins are collapsing everywhere you look. And if you think about managing multiple platforms, Chuck, that can get difficult as well. Not every customer gets the same services because some are available on some platforms and some are not available on others. And so you want the same user experience for all your clients and customers. So between the margin shrinking, managing multiple platforms,
sure,
it's just difficult.
Yeah, Chris, as I look at it and I look at the engagements that we've had in these past 6 months in particular, there's really a couple different buckets that we're seeing. One is help us improve our financials on what we're providing, right? Margins are decreasing, the costs are going up. It's not a great equation for success. We need to be more competitive in the marketplace than we are today. And so help us with that. The other portion that's really key is we want bigger, better functionality. AI is the buzzword of the day, right? Of the year, of the next decade, I have no doubt. How can we integrate that more with us? So talk to us from APIs and integrations. And so when you look at both of these kind of financial and feature set buckets, there's a great challenge ahead for them. Are you seeing the same thing?
Absolutely. What it feels like, Chuck, is many people want to migrate over. They want to consolidate their user platforms. They see the great benefits of a NetSapiens Crescendo platform and all the awesome technology that you guys can bring that they cannot use right now. Their customers want that technology and the things that you guys have, but they're stuck in an old, outdated platform. Now, it sounds easy just to move it over, but it's not. And that's where the hiccup comes is they go, oh, geez, we got to do a migration. And someone said, yeah, I did a migration 15 years ago, and it almost, I wanted to quit the industry. And that's how bad some of these manual migrations can get. And that's where we come into play. We can really make it simple.
Chris, we're engaged on a number of projects right now, and what we're hearing from these clients is we love the sessions versus seat model. We love the APIs and integration. We love the fact we can go either subscription or we can buy the licenses. We can either have you host it or we're going to have it ourselves in our own data center facilities. That's all great.
Yep.
But the migration side really scares them. And so many decide to try to do a cap and grow, run a cap and grow philosophy, which is okay. But to improve margins is key. Do you hear that same angst from the projects with regards to, oh gosh, this is great, but migration is going to be an absolute headache?
Absolutely, Chuck. We're a moving company here at Voxmatic. We're an automation company, but when it comes to migrations, we move you from old platform to new platform, Crescendo, NetSapiens. And think about when you're moving a house. There's a new house and it's bigger and it's got a new kitchen and it's got a pool and all these great things. But what if you had to move one pitcher at a time and one couch cushion at a time and one dish at a time? That's going to take forever. And it's going to probably, as much as your wife may love that new house, you're going to go, hey, honey, I don't think this is the right thing for us. And you may just go, well, maybe we'll just buy the new house and then buy all new stuff for the new house. It's not. And now you have two houses. And it just doesn't make it simple. What Voxmatic does, we'll come to your old house. We will pack up all your stuff and we will move it to the new house or to the NetSapien platform for you. And you can just show up in your new house. It's going to be all there for you.
It's interesting you say that. One of the projects we're engaged in actually has 3 different platforms, and through acquisitions, we'll add 2 more to the mix. And the word we got from them was, holy smokes, how do we consolidate this? We can't possibly do it. 1, from a profitability perspective, and 2, the level of expertise I need to have across all these platforms and to manage it on an ongoing basis is a real nightmare. How can you help us consolidate? What I'd love to hear, Chris, if you don't mind, and we've got some great successes along the way, what's the magic to the migration process? I get the new house moving.
Yep.
What does that look like for our potential partners?
Yeah, the secret sauce or the magic that we have, Chuck, is the ability to extract all of the information from an old platform. So we'll go in and we extract all of the information. The hard part is translating it. So we extract it all, we translate it to the NetSapiens language, essentially. At that point, we provision it, we validate, make sure it all works, make sure all the translations are correct, all the call forwarding, all the trunks, everything that you have on the old system. It may not be called the same thing on the NetSapien platform, but that's where the translation comes into play. So we'll get all that for you. We'll pull it out, we'll translate it, provision it, make sure it works. And then for our quality, we validate. So before we actually hit production, we make sure we validate everything. It's going to be transferred properly. There may be a hiccup or two. Hey, there's this voicemail password, or there's this or that. It finds all of those hiccups. We fix those. And then at the end of the day, we execute. We hit production, and then it just moves it from old platform to new platform.
So, Chris, if a partner was looking to make that migration themselves with their own resources and spend their time, how much more time would that take versus the integration tool you have?
This is the hard part, Chuck. And again, anyone that's been through a manual migration just kind of like shakes their head. Or we've talked to engineers and technicians all the time that just go, please, no, I never want to do another manual migration. Because, Chuck, let's just take an easy number here. You've got 10,000 users to migrate, okay? 10,000 lines to migrate from the whole platform over to you guys. On average, an average human being, an engineer, mainly technicians that do this work, you can migrate about 5 lines per hour on average. Some may go quicker because there's not as many features, et cetera.
Sure.
Business lines can take a little more time because there are more features, et cetera. So on average, it's about 5 lines an hour. No one's really argued that with us. So if you have one person to dedicate to do this work at 5 lines an hour, 10,000 lines, that's a 2,000-hour job. So that means someone will be sitting at a desk for 50 weeks or essentially a year with no PTO, no 4th of July holiday, no sick days, and no mistakes for 1 year to migrate lines from an old platform to a new platform, 10,000 users. And that's does anyone have one person that they can dedicate? Usually it's a team effort, and it'll come in as a flood, not a wave, right? So you want to ride the wave, not get flooded. What will happen is they'll go, oh, shoot, we've got to migrate by Monday 1,500 lines or these business customers. And then all of a sudden it's all hands on deck, Chuck, right? Email goes out from the top, hey, this has to be done by next whatever date. And everyone's like, oh, no. So now we're working nights, we're working weekends, we're taxing the team, we're throwing pizza parties to try and keep people happy. And it just becomes, and all you're going to do is migrate 1,000 lines. And then it's kind of like the next crisis will show up when the next group of business customers needs to get migrated over.
You know, there's not enough pizzas to make that happen, my friend. If we want people missing July 4th, can't have that happen. So the migrations are managed by the Voxmatic team, quicker, simpler, easier, quality control to ensure that everything moves from one platform to the next.
Yep.
But it's also the migration of the cost platform, right? It's going from the old to the new. And I know you've got some great insights. Maybe kind of wrap this up with a little bit of what you're seeing from a cost perspective, Chris.
From a cost perspective, this is where people start to get scared. And believe it or not, I would argue that they should be excited about it. So yes, it is cost. It's going to cost something, and that's okay. But our ROI really turns the table quickly. So we want to make this simple and easy, not only on the migration side, but on the cost side as well. So think about this, Chuck. Your average migration, we're going to charge a per line migration. So per line moves over. And then we have what we call a snowflake or a setup fee, where we build our snowflake or our translator, essentially. We have to build that. So we'll dig in with your team. We'll get all that. But that's where the setup fee comes into play. So if you think all in, just cost per line, on average, it'll be about $8 per line. Some might be a little less, depending on how many lines you have. Some might be a little bit more. But it's anywhere from $7 to $9. So we'll average it out at $8, Chuck. About $8 per line to migrate. And when you think about the increased profitability moving to the NetSapiens platform with the sessions, not seats model, right, Chuck? And that's what your team is great at explaining. But the reality is, Chuck, your profitability is going to increase, again, on average, about $3 per line. So if your migration costs $8 per line, just the migration itself, and you're $3 per line more profitable, well, guess what? Simple math is going to tell us in 3 months, you've paid off the migration. And in about 3 to 4 months, the migration can happen. And now, if you've got 10,000 lines, that's 10,000 line times $3 a month. That's $30,000 a month more profitable you are. That's where it's like compound interest. That's why the faster you migrate, the faster you can be more profitable, rather than waiting a year to slowly migrate everyone over. The profitability happens just that much faster.
So it enables our service providers to move from that outdated platform to the very latest, greatest APIs, integrations, different pricing model than what they're used to. Mm-hmm. And your company is the magic that helps make that migration happen.
Exactly.
Chris, I love it. I can't thank you enough for sharing some insights. Stay tuned in some upcoming sessions we're going to have with the great Voxmatic team. We're going to share some actual case examples. So for those out there that are running today off of a Metaswitch, a BroadSoft, a 3CX, and others, we're going to share some of the successes we've had and actual data and savings that they're seeing as they migrate over. Chris, thanks so much. Glad you could be here today, and look forward to great things ahead.
My pleasure. Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chris.